Pokemon, friendship, kindness, baby dolls. We are going to learn how to assess risk in any ecosystem in crypto. And it's my interpretation, my framework. Everybody can do whatever the hell they want. I'm wearing a Pokemon hat. Let's get right into it. But first, this is Pikachu with the PulseX, Hex, Pulse, and Ink logos. Now, PulseChain's got a beautiful system because it's transparent and it's clear, and you don't have like a high rate of rugging like the Solana ecosystem. So it makes a good example here. Now, you can look at these core coins, right? You have Pulse, PulseX, EHEX, PHEX, Ink, right? And just as a simple metric, what you can do is you can just basically write a probability of how much they pump when you win, what you think the odds are, and then also you can write what the chances are that you think it goes to zero. Now, while I don't like these probability talks too much, friends, even though it's important, it's because there's always this mid-curve soy boy hunchback scum out there who's writing these like Medium articles and Twitters, and they're talking down on people, right? Because probabilities, bro, they're fully subjective, which means everybody is literally talking out of their behind where the sun don't shine. I'm not even joking. Friends, like literally right now, okay, the market literally gives Hex a 1% survival rate. Okay, but on the other end, I literally know Hex Maxis, they give it a 100%, and they're being serious. Even me, I'm like, okay, 80%, 90%. You see this discrepancy? One person thinks 1% or 0% survival, others think 100%. So you're just guessing, bro. You're literally just guessing. So what I'm going to now do is just go to the core coins. I'll just show you my ones, okay? So I'll just give you this is an example. Now, these are not my real numbers or whatever. I don't even compute these. You don't need to, but just a way to think about it. So for the core coins of PulseChain, PulseX, EHEX, PHEX, Ink, you might give them an 80% chance to do 20x or more, and a 20% chance they go to zero. So what you can do is you just write like here, 80% chance, and right, to pump 20x, and then 20% chance to go minus 100%. Zero, all right? That's just one example. So there you go. That's basically the core coins. So you have them out here. You go, oh, well, these are great. These are basically, yeah, core coins. Pulse, PulseX, EHEX, PHEX, Ink. And you might just say, all right, they're basically betting on Richard Hart. Now, obviously, Bitcoin's going to have different ones. And look, friends, once again, it's subjective, man. I've got to play some Journey music from Pokemon, just so we know. I am wearing a Pokemon bucket hat, but everyone's guessing, man. Even Michael Chad Saylor, friends, he's got like a 100% chance that Bitcoin's hitting $13 million. You see, so these odds and these probabilities, you know, you can't really take them home, can you? Here's the thing, though. With the PulseChain core coins, though, some people would say that these are good enough odds and it's not worth deviating from, but only you can assess that for yourself. So people would make a very justifiable conclusion. They'll say, well, man, if something is giving you an 80% chance to do a 20x and a 20% chance to go to zero, it ain't worth moving out of that. It ain't worth. And you might say, well, yeah, that's true, friends. It's true. But play around with these, man. Okay, what if it was an 80% chance to do just a 5x? Okay. So if it was an 80% chance to do a 5x, what are you going to be thinking now? We're going to move on to the next segment. You're probably going to be thinking, I think I need some slingshot leverage altcoins. See, so you don't know the future. You can never know the future. All you can do is sit on this calendar date, knowing the information you know, and saying, well, I do have a straight posture. I do have fluffy slippers. I do see communities who aren't being abandoned and who just have a megaphone, fluffy microphone too, who are just going to keep yelling and they're having fun. And yeah, they're not 100% of everyone's portfolio, but hey, they're exciting and they're, you know, memes and altcoins and whatever everyone else is building out there, different ecosystems. There's energy there, okay? And you make a good point, and that's actually true, friends. So doesn't matter whether it is everywhere from P-Dye to the alien coins to Tangang stuff. You got Dick with Butt, Peacock, PulseChain, Orange Man Gold. Doesn't matter what it is, friends. All of these I'm naming obviously ones in the spotlight. So there's many, many others as well, friends, So I'm just giving you an idea. Like, well, the communities of them around there, they have telegrams. There's the Poker Center, right? And you have Tangang as well. Like, they're all building. You have 9-inch and Hexibus and Influencer Coin. So there's higher odds that these things are going to stay around, right? So once you've seen that, you're like, oh, well, I wonder what the odds are of their success rate and stuff. It's something good to explore, right? If we venture into these PulseChain altcoins, you can get higher pumps, but with lower odds. PulseChain altcoin examples, you have Icosa, Slingshot Leverage on Hex, right? You have Pika, Dick with Butt, P-Day, Orange Man Good. I'm just using this example. This is a very, very cute picture of Sonic and Mario here dancing. Here are a lot of the logos out here. But yeah, it's a mixed bag, isn't it, right? So what I'm going to do now is just show you, well, these will all vary depending on the coin and community. So for example, they might have a 30% chance to do 100x or more and a 70% chance to go to 0. So that's what you might write. You might just actually, you'll clone this and we go, okay, well, it might be like a 30% chance to do 100x or more. And then you have like a 70% chance to go to 0. And by the way, friends, when I say go to 0, it could also include where you just go up 5x and round trip. It's pretty much, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, okay, you don't hit. Now, there are people, they'll just do some like, basic, expected values on these. They'll go, 0.8 times 5. And then you add 0.2 plus 0. So this like expected value EV equals 4. And you might just go into the other one where it ends up being 0.3 times 100. And then you do, I think I got it right, EV, 0.3 times 100. You can say have like 30 minus 1. So this might be like, I don't know, it might be like 30. EV equals like 30. So I don't even know if I did the EV right, but you get the point. See, it's very high EV to do this altcoin stuff. But remember, I changed this to 5x. What if PulseChain does like a 20x, okay? Even if it does a 20x, your EV now is still going to be here 16, all right? So what's that? Your expected value? Just, so look at this. Even if PulseChain does a 20x of those calls, it's still worth participating in those altcoins. But then that's why it gets subjective because everyone's saying, I could see is really saying, hey, what about if PulseChain does a 100x? You go, wow, okay, this expected value is 80. But this is the thing, friends. We already know, not even guessing. We already know. We've seen it in Bitcoin. We've seen it in Bitcoin with crypto and stocks. We've seen it with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Each of their Bitcoin layer 1 chain, Ethereum layer 1 chain, Solana layer 1 chain. We see it with everything, okay? When a spear goes up, it's the GDP of the city. People go out and they invest in the city. They go and... Now, some people just say they go gamble. They go throw money out. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It just basically things get repriced higher. Now, the game is trying to figure out which ones get repriced higher, right? It's kind of like if I told you, friends, there's a new city being erupted, right? It's going to be next to New York. And you're like, okay, sweet, I want to be there. So you could invest in the city that's like buying the layer 1 chain, like PulseChain. But maybe you found some edge. Maybe you found that, there's a city and it's a block, it's a square. And you're like, one of these quadrants has a better view of water. And it has businesses that maybe you look them up and the CEOs of them are like really, really rich, for example. You see what I mean? Now you've got some edge. So if you were going to buy land in this new New York City, you found like a quadrant of the city that you think is going to have a higher distribution of the wealth. It's kind of like trying to pick where to buy a house in a country, right? So this is the game though. That's the whole game is to figure out, okay, they have different EVs. What can you do? But it's just showing you it's worth participating in the altcoins. Now, obviously the $1 million question is which altcoins end up going 100x? Don't know. That's why it's like 30% chance. But if you stick with communities that aren't abandoning, and by the way, friends, you can even make your own Telegram. Just tag along, man. Tagging people, tagging the tickers, making memes, putting pictures of them, reposting. These things build the network effect, especially on Twitter, making YouTube videos. They keep life into them, and you are now affecting the probabilities. This is why, my friends, we're going to play some more journey music. This is why crypto's the greatest, friends. You see, friends, in crypto, you can actually affect your probability of success with effort. It's beautiful. You can breathe life into coins. You can tag stuff. Tag me. Maybe you make memes, you make pictures. I share so much of other people's materials. Even if I post about nothing to do with the coin. I don't even tag the coin. Do you see that? That keeps everything alive. So once you know this, it gets more exciting, doesn't it? Because if you go back here, friends, well, see, there are coins out here. Maybe you have a coin here. I don't know, maybe like Dick with Butt and Pika. Maybe, 30% chance of up 100x. Well, you might be thinking, these coins have people who survived through big FUD crashes. They have people who really believe in them. The memes go really hard. Maybe you like them funny. And maybe, friends, you never know, man. Maybe this even flips. Maybe you're like, you know what? I think it's a 70% chance it goes up and only 30% chance it goes to zero. So what would a zero be? It's like it goes up 5x in round trips pretty much. So you see that? And now if you're doing this game, by the way, your EV is like 70. Like it's big now. Right? It's actually, it's gotten huge. It's like 60 or 70. So as you can see, right, these numbers, they start to change if you can lower your risk. So risk is not the price of volatility, friends. Risk is your fear of the unknown. Can you figure out stuff about it that's giving you an edge? Well, yes. You type it on Twitter. You go type in $, PIKA. You go join the Pika to Pico Telegram. You're like, oh, wow, everyone here memeing. Oh, wow, there's Pikachu hats everywhere. Oh, wow, everybody's posting all these in PulseChain. There's a list, there's a board, Poker Center. All of them are going out here. You got Paul Me, you got Ditto, you got Snorlax, you got the Mudkips. You got so many things going. They're all fun, friends. They're all fun. You see it? This is what's giving life to them. This is what increases the probability that they survive long enough for the big rotation. That's what you're doing. You're basically surviving long enough for the big rotation, which is not just Richard Hart rotating money in, but Ethereum is now 10 grand and everybody's bridging around because everyone's trying to make money at like in the euphoria part of a cycle, okay? So as I say, if you can research a coin and sniff out that it's better than a 30% chance, you'll receive big rewards if you invest in a community that doesn't quit. This is a cute Squirtle, okay? However, this is important now. So in this altcoin world, you also have higher odds that it gets abandoned and goes to zero. So what I'm now doing, just showing you that, see, there's PulseChain Maxis and there's people who don't like PulseChain, whatever. You can use this for any coin, but the core coins, friends, on the left-hand side, Pulse, PulseX, EX, PX, Inc., the core coins, they just have lower odds of abandonment and it helps people sleep at night. So these coins, you see? Now, they have higher odds compared to Ethereum being abandoned, and Ethereum has higher odds than Bitcoin being abandoned, but it's the risk you take, right, if you want the reward. Yeah, and it doesn't mean then odds are high. It just means they're higher. You see? So I'm hoping you understand. You're starting to get a 3D view of these. You take more risk, you get more reward. Okay? If you go to places that people don't want to go. So I've even taught everyone about, 90% core, 10% lottery, and it still rings true because with PulseChain core coins, you got to understand, like, look, whenever I explain this, friend, people always, bless your hearts, you're always confused, asking me, who's even disagreeing with this? Who? And let me tell you who, friends. It's the same with Bitcoin people. Bitcoin people, maxis, obviously we're all Bitcoin people, right? So a Bitcoin maxi, they genuinely believe Bitcoin dominance is going to 99%. They genuinely think that Ethereum and every altcoin is going to zero, and that when Bitcoin goes to $1 to $5 million, they think all the money's just going to be on the Bitcoin ecosystem, and there will be no money anywhere else to be rotated. That's what they generally think. Many people in Ethereum think that too. Many people in basically even PulseChain Maxis, say Richard Hart coin Maxi, who just completely doesn't like the idea of any other coins, okay? Now, they're getting smaller and smaller numbers because they basically had to capitulate after what happened earlier this year, but a lot of them still think that their core coin, Pulse, is going to do a 100x and everything else is going to like literally do a 2x and go to zero. They think that. Totally wrong. Totally wrong. It's never happened. It's impossible to happen. Friends, it's literally the equivalent of if I have a new city. Remember our New York City equivalent? Imagine I said to you, okay, New York City here, the new New York City, I'm going to triple its income. 3x. So the average income of people in here, maybe they were making 30,000 a year. Now I'm going to triple it to 90,000. You have the power to just make everybody's income triple, okay? Now, that 3x, there are going to be businesses in there that literally grow 300x. They will. And for you to say that they won't, it's a big gamble. And you're going to be wrong. You get to see it because there's a multiplier effect. You see? So the core coin going up, remember, Richard Hart Maxi is, because they don't believe in any of these things happen, they haven't done any research, a lot of them, I'm helping you out. It's a game of probabilities. And what's the best portfolio, friends? The one that helps you sleep at night. So yes, there are people that don't want to touch, they don't have the time to go learn about all these other things and these fun communities. That's why I'm doing a service to everyone here for free, just to show you that this stuff is going on. Because what we're doing is, friends, I know people don't compute it yet, but they will. When Richard Hart rotates the ETH in and the bags are pumping harder and stuff, there are going to be cabal people from other chains coming into PulseChain, making coins and scamming everyone out of their money. They will. And if the PulseChain community doesn't know about 90% core, 10% lottery, and if they don't know about all of this stuff coming, they will make the mistake of their lifetime and get destroyed. Now, it's going to happen anyway to some people, but at least I'm helping you out to let you know this is what is coming. So your next logical question is to ask, what's the point of doing what we're doing today? Well, you are front running the mind share before these scum get in. That's what you're doing. It's like buying Justin Sun meme coins a year ago. And now we recently saw Justin Sun hits a spotlight and Tron price goes up. If you were in the Justin Sun meme coins and you had communities around them, when everybody comes in, they go buy that. You see? But there weren't all these Justin Sun meme coins, were they? The cabal came and just started making new coins. But if there's an established ecosystem, you have a big advantage. You see? In truth, friends, there was always a case to have core coins as well as lottery tickets if you've done enough research on the community to see if they're worth investing. Bitcoin Maxis believe your portfolio should be 100% BTC and nothing else. So as you can see, this is a touchy and sensitive topic across the crypto space. The best portfolio is the one that helps you sleep at night. I personally think there are blue ocean areas in certain chains that have coins cheaply priced. Blue ocean strategy. Okay, now, until then, my friends, we sing songs around the campfire together because they'll be the ones cheering on green candles with you during a bull. That's what it comes down to. You see? So I hope it all makes sense. That's the vision of what everything happens. So you don't have to participate in anything. I mean, you could just hold stable coins, but I'm just telling you this is how it's been working, how it's been observed to work before. So the core coin goes up. Now, like I said, man, the core coin, friends, its odds of going up, it's safely high. You know? Could be, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. They're great, man. But it might be like very, very high odds. Like I said, 70 or 80% chance. But if you just select a random altcoin on PulseChain, you ain't getting that odds. No way. The average one is only like 20% chance, 10% chance. Literally, because there's a lot of ones that just don't work, right? So if you figure out which one has adoption, which one has people believing in it, tagging it, you get that 10 to 20% odds of success. You might bring that up to like 50%. And now you're like, whoa, I've got a 50% chance this thing is slingshot leverage on PulseChain by like a 10x. Now it's worth taking, okay, if you can find stuff like that. And that's ultimately what you're doing is you're trying to just throw lottery tickets around. They give you slingshot leverage on the call succeeding while you're here. But you don't have to. You really don't have to, friends. So like, here's just flat out example. There are people out here, they got like $5,000 in Pulse. They've got two options. You could, let's say there's somebody out here, they got like $1,000 of extra savings. They could go out, buy like 10 of the altcoins for $100 each. They could do that. Or they could use extra savings and get another $5,000 and then put it into Pulse, for example, or PulseX, EXPX, and just split it up. So that's another way to do it. So people who want to maybe maximize their dollar, they're going to be the ones doing the research, but you don't really have to. You could, so if you're wondering, hey, do I have to do this? No, you don't have to, but you can like increase your risk allocation and throw more of the core coins. So in a nutshell, what you're doing is it's kind of like someone has $500,000 and they bought Bitcoin and they want to put in another $50,000 to buy altcoins. It's like you telling them, hey, if you have another 500,000, just buy Bitcoin. You don't have to do all that hard work with the altcoins because like it's going to require a lot of effort, a lot of care and attention. And if that person has a spare 500,000 lying around, they'll probably just go buy the Bitcoin and walk away. You see? So it's a matter of preference and how much time and work you want to put in. Luckily for us, friends, you and I are singing songs around this campfire and we know exactly what's up. We invest in the community, not the narrative. This is your friend Somi. Like, subscribe, tell mom and daddy love them. Catch you in the next one.